Okay, today we're going to be learning how to light an oxyacetylene torch. In the lab, we are using 2 psi for acetylene, 1 psi for oxygen. A lot of times we will be set a lot higher than that for other applications. 5 psi acetylene, 10 to 20 for oxygen. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the valves on the torch handle are closed by turning them both clockwise. And we're going to make sure that our regulators are backed out by turning them counterclockwise. At this point, we can open the valves on the tree, which simulate the valves on the welding cylinders, the tank cylinders. And then we can adjust our valves to our desired pressure, which for our purposes today, we are going to go to 2 psi on acetylene and 1 psi on oxygen. I'm going to turn my handle counterclockwise on acetylene until I hear a little bit of fuel come out, pointing it down away from the tree, and then adjusting my fuel. Clockwise to lower it, counterclockwise to have more, and then we will open our oxygen counterclockwise to adjust our flame. At any point, if the flame goes out, make sure to turn clockwise the oxygen to shut that off, and then clockwise the acetylene to turn that off, like so. When done welding, slowly turn off the oxygen clockwise and then the acetylene clockwise. Turn off each of the valves by turning clockwise. And then we will be bleeding the oxygen off first by turning counterclockwise, releasing the air clockwise to close, acetylene counterclockwise, clockwise to close. Turning counterclockwise the regulators to back them out before we are done. To turn on the acetylene, first open the valve all the way by turning it counterclockwise. Then set the pressure to 2 psi by turning the regulator clockwise. To turn off the acetylene, turn the regulator counterclockwise, and then close the valve all the way by turning it clockwise until it stops. Oxygen is used the same way as acetylene, but we are going to be using 1 psi. Remember that oxygen is always the second one on and the first one off.